right, everybody, today is the day the Wayfinder Early Access officially starts, and good news is it's coming for PC and PlayStation today at noon Central Time. I will be going live around 11 or shortly after 11 to do kind of a pre-party before the actual launch. If you guys want to jump in there and chat about anything Wayfinder related, go ahead and jump on in and we'll talk about it. But for this video, we are going to be talking about the 3 Wayfinders you can pick at launch. But before we jump in and talk about the 3 Wayfinders you can pick at the start of the game, there is something I want to go over. You should be able to, at the start of the game, play as any one of the 3 Wayfinders in kind of a tutorial mode. At the end of that mode, you're going to get the option to start over. Try one of the other Wayfinders and play through the tutorial again. You should be able to go through and play as any one of those 3 Wayfinders as many times as you want while you're making your decision, so give that a shot before you pick your initial starter Wayfinder. Now, the Wayfinders you're going to be able to start the game as are going to be Wingrave, Silo, and Niss. And we're going to go over some of the information available on the official Wayfinder website about these 3 Wayfinders, so you guys kind of have an idea of which Wayfinder you want to start with. Now, with these Wayfinders, you're going to be using them with their default weapons right away. You can change this up later, but if you're going to be playing Wingrave, you're going to be playing Wingrave for a while with a sword and shield. With Silo, you're going to be playing with a gun for a while, and with Niss, you're going to be using dual-wielding daggers. Now, if you want to change this up later on, you can, but unlocking weapons is going to be a bit of a time-consuming process, so that's something to keep in mind. If you really don't want to play a ranged character, but you like Silo's skill set, you might want to start with a different Wayfinder off the bat, and then unlock Silo and another weapon down the road, and go with that kit later. So let's go ahead and jump down in and talk about Wingrave. Now, despite the sword and shield, I would say that Wingrave does have some early game tanking potential. He has very high defense, as we'll see right down here. This is going to be a scale of 1 to 10 on all of their stats, and you can see this right on the website if you guys want to follow along. But for the defense capabilities of Wingrave, you've got him rated at a 10. Whereas the support capabilities of him, he's rated at an 8, and the offense is relatively low at a 3. The reason for this is he is actually more of a healer, I would say, than a tank. He doesn't have any way to necessarily provoke the enemy in his skill set, but he can soak up a lot of damage and has a lot of healing potential. He's one of the 2 healers or 3 healers available in Season 1 of Wayfinder. And then here's his first ability you're seeing the animation of. This is Righteous Strike. Hitting an enemy will cause an explosion of healing energy to shoot out and heal Wingrave and nearby allies. Pretty useful skill early on, gives you some healing potential. Now, one thing I want to talk about before we move on here to the next ability is his passive. Melee finishers, heal Wingrave and 1 nearby ally. So he definitely has some healing in just his passive and his first skill. Talking about his next ability, that is going to be Radiant Pulse. Form a divine shield that blocks projectiles and boost defense of allies standing behind it. As you can see there, it blocks the projectile, and on this animation, he gets hit by the projectile. So it's a nice little ability, good for closing a gap, getting closer to the enemies necessarily, or just mitigating a relatively big ranged ability from one of the more boss-like monsters in the game. The next ability up we have is Judgment. Marks enemies for judgment. Anyone hitting a judged enemy or an enemy marked with judgment will restore their own health. So kind of a nice way to heal up the whole group. If you're pulling a bigger pack or you're on a boss, using this ability is going to mark the enemies, and for a time anybody attacking those enemies is going to get a little bit of health back. Pretty useful skill, but this is why I'm saying Wingrave is a very tanky character, but he doesn't have that provoke or way to keep the monsters focused on him. Instead, he's going to be relying on getting the monster's attention from all the healing output that he provides to the team. Still a great hero or a great Wayfinder. Definitely would encourage you guys to give him a shot at some point. And then for his ultimate here, he forms a powerful barrier and makes anybody standing in it immune to damage, and also heals them over time. A nice ultimate ability. It gives you some damage mitigation because of that damage immunity bubble temporarily and that heal over time. Great way to pull the entire party's butt out of the fire. Then for his signature weapon, you're going to have Bastion, and the ability that Bastion gives you is raise your shield and create an area of effect healing pulse to heal yourself and nearby allies. So even more healing. And the nice thing about picking your Wayfinder is you're also going to be unlocking their signature weapon. So if down the road you unlock another Wayfinder, you'll be able to use Bastion on that Wayfinder. So if you want to give some more healing potential to another Wayfinder and you like the Sword and Shield playstyle, you can go throw Bastion on Niss and turn Niss into a healing rogue with a Sword and Shield. Or you can throw it on Silo for that matter and have a healing ability on Silo and a short Sword and Shield playstyle on Silo. So something to keep in mind there too. Unlocking these signature weapons by unlocking the Wayfinders are going to give you some ways to play those Wayfinders or other Wayfinders in some interesting ways. And these weapons can obviously be unlocked other ways than just unlocking the Wayfinder. Now, next up, we have Silo. Silo moves up a little bit on the complexity scale to play, but he also moves substantially up on the damage output. Whereas Wingrave was a 3 on the offensive capabilities, we've got a 6 on the offensive capabilities for Silo. But Silo also drops down from that maxed out defense that Wingrave had down to a 5 on the defense ability. But you also notice he's up to 8 on control, 8 on support, and he maxes out on the range meter here. And the reason for this is because Silo's a very heavy ranged character and a very heavy control based character, as you're going to see in his skill set as we go over that. Now, his first ability is Firebomb. You toss a firebomb that ignites enemies, dealing damage over time and causes a chain reaction with the Oil Bomb ability. Oil Bomb, which we'll go over before we go over the passive here, leaves a pool in front of oil in front of Silo, slowing the enemies down and causing them to take additional damage. Now, as you can see in this animation here, when he throws it, he's going to throw a firebomb right after that, which ignites the oil and causes even more damage over time from that explosion of the fire and the oil. Nice little gameplay mechanic there where you can combine these abilities for even more effectiveness. Now, his passive ability is Strategic Advantage. You deal bonus melee and range damage to enemies that are debuffed. Obviously, you can debuff them by getting them stuck in the oil trap, debuff them from the burn effect from the firebomb, which will add even more damage to your attacks right there. His next ability is Proto Clone. It's kind of a get out of jail ability here. If you're in a sticky situation, you can drop down this clone that will provoke the enemies as you jump back out of the fight. This is a really good ability to set up for the oil bomb and firebomb combo for some good wave clear potential. Now, I definitely think that Silo is more of a wave clear hero or wave clear wayfinder in this regard rather than a single target. I'm sure his single target potential is going to be fine, but he definitely excels at dealing with groups of enemies. And then for his ultimate ability, you have Arc Nemesis. You send out your little egg, and it does a bunch of shock burst damage. After the egg does its initial burst damage, it will provide a short area of denial where it slows the enemies and damages nearby enemies. Really nice kit all in all. Definitely an emphasis on control, debuffs, and obviously that AoE damage from those skills. Now for his signature weapon, you've got Longshot with the ability Deadeye. So 3 Deadeye weak points appear on every enemy in range. Hitting one of those weak points results in high damage and a guaranteed critical hit. Pretty nice ability. Adds a little bit of a mini game into your normal damage dealing phase when you activate that ability. Make sure you guys stay till the end of the video too. We're going to be announcing the giveaway for a Founders Pack on PC. We might do a PlayStation one. I have to figure out the logistics of being able to give away a Founders Pack on PlayStation, but we will be giving away a Steam Founders Pack of Wayfinder, and we'll be giving that away, I believe, tomorrow or Saturday. I will announce the winners of that, but stay to the end of the video to make sure you guys see how to enter for that giveaway. And then the last Wayfinder we're going to be talking about in this video is going to be the one I'm going to be playing at launch. And guys, let me know in the comment section down below which Wayfinder you guys are interested in playing at launch. Are you going to be playing Niss, Silo, or Wingrave to start your journey into Wayfinder? And let me know which Wayfinder you guys want to unlock first out of the 3 Wayfinders that are going to be available to unlock after you pick your initial Wayfinder. Now, Niss is going to be the most complicated playstyle of all the starter Wayfinders. And the thing with Niss is Niss has the highest damage potential of the initial Wayfinders. But Niss is going to be very much so more of a single target damage character than the AoE capable silo. So it's a blessing and a curse in that regard. Now for your defense ability on Niss, you're going to be sitting at a 5. Not a lot of support or control, but you're going to be at a 5 also on your ranged ability, which is mostly coming because of some of her ability skills. The offensive capability, on the other hand, you're jumping all the way up to a 9, so you can definitely see some offensive capabilities with this character versus some of the other characters. Now, for your first ability, you've got Shadow Step. You dash in a line dealing damage, and after a short delay, I mean very short delay, as you can see in this animation, your shadow clone comes up behind you and does additional damage to enemies that are within that line. This is going to be some of the ability that you use to get some of your AoE damage off, but this is also a great single target damage capability. Now for your passive, you've got Lingering Shadow. After dodging, gain attack power for a short duration. So it definitely makes you want to get those dodges in, and there's other reasons in Niss's kit to want to get extra dodges in. Now your next ability is going to be Umbral Aura. This is empowered by Umbral magic, causing her next 3 dodges to pierce the enemy with that shadow damage, as you can see in this animation here, which is further encouraging you to dodge. Now, one thing I really like about this, and it's something I really like about the way they did this mechanic in the game, unlike a lot of games that have on dodge effects, this is not relying on you to get a perfect dodge or dodge an attack. It is simply requiring you to use the dodge ability. You dodge, you do the thing. You don't have to dodge the attack or iframe an attack to cause this effect. You just simply need to use the dodge. So if you're used to, say, playing Dauntless where it's like on dodge, do X, it's not like that on this ability. It's not like this ability. Don't worry. If you're not good at timing iframes, this is not going to be a hindrance. You just use the dodge, you do the damage. Then Niss's next ability is going to be Vengeful Shade. As you can see, when Niss jumps up, she kind of turns into a shadowy form. You're immune to damage during that form, and then you do a fan-out attack with your shadow blades or your little shadow darts. Not a bad ability. Nice way to dodge an attack. Now, what I like about this is the arc on that attack. It's not the best single target damage, but if you've got a whole wave of enemies on you, this is a good way to disengage from a wave of enemies and cause a little bit of damage while you're getting that disengage in. Now, her ultimate ability is Gloom Shroud. For the next few seconds, you can use Shadow Step as many times as you want. This is going to be a good burn ability when you activate that, especially if you've got up your aura already. You can get a lot of damage off by activating Shadow Step repeatedly here. You got your bursting through the enemy, your Shadow Clone bursting through the ability, and if you time it right, you can almost get off the next Shadow Step almost as soon as your Shadow Clone shows back up. And it looks like you'll be able to get this off probably 3, 4, maybe 5 times if you're lucky back to back. I don't know the exact time window you have on this ability, but from the animation, it looks like you'll probably be able to get at least 4 of them off. So a nice little ultimate to get some burn damage in. And for her signature weapon, you've got Knight's Edge with the ability Dagger Fall. Form multiple magic daggers that float around you and attacks the enemies as they come into range. Now, for me, I'm probably going to be playing Niss off the bat just because I like the playstyle of a rogue with daggers. If you guys have seen any of my D3 gameplay or D4 gameplay lately, I've been playing a lot of rogue in D4, and I'm kind of gravitating toward Niss for my initial character, and I feel like I'm probably going to be unlocking Venomous relatively early. Her kit looks really interesting. I've gone over all 3 of the unlockable Wayfinders already, looking over their kits to get ready to make a video on that. And Niss is interesting. Niss is also going to be a healer character, and I'm kind of curious Venomous is also a healer type character, and I'm really curious to look into that kit and actual gameplay. If you guys are interested in more Wayfinder content, we will be doing a lot more Wayfinder content as the game progresses through the early access and the first season. Also, if you guys want to join the Discord, we've got a link for the Discord in the video description. You guys can click my socials links and join the Discord there. We're going to be doing a big guild in Wayfinder and playing around with all the like wave or guild neighborhood mechanics and stuff like that as soon as those are coming out, and trying to progress through content as a community. So you guys are welcome to pop into the Discord and join us if you guys got questions. If you guys are just looking for people to play Wayfinder with, jumping into the Discord, come say hi, come check out some of our community that's coming over from Dauntless to Wayfinder to explore a new game together as a community. If you guys are checking out this video and you're one of my subscribers from some of my Dauntless content, I will be making a lot of content on this game, but I'm not going to stop making content on Dauntless once they give us some new content to make some content about. I would definitely encourage you guys to check out this game. I will be streaming it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the week of August 15th. I took time off work just to stream this game because I've been so pumped up and excited for this game to come out. Now, if you guys aren't ready to commit to a Founders Pack, or you guys don't have it in your budget right now, I'm going to be giving away a couple of the basic Founder Packs over the course of the next couple weeks, and maybe even more over the course of early access. If you guys are interested in entering the giveaway for a Founders Pack, just leave a comment in the video description down below. At some point before the end of the weekend, I am going to be drawing from the names that leave comments on this video for the first Founders Pack giveaway. So just leave a comment down below with which system you are playing Wayfinder or planning on playing Wayfinder on. That way I know which one of the keys to get for you guys, or if I need to get a gift card or whatever for PlayStation Network to get to, yeah. It's going to be complicated on PlayStation. I haven't worked out all the bells and whistles there. But if you guys are interested, leave a comment down below with which system you're planning on playing on, which Wayfinder you're planning on picking as your starting Wayfinder, and which Wayfinder you're the most interested in unlocking after picking your initial Wayfinder. And I will see you guys when I go live around 11 Central Time or in the next video. See you guys next time.